I didn't mean to end up at his door that night, but the storm left me no choice. One look at Dylan, and every buried feeling came rushing back. We were trapped together, alone, and the way he touched me. Like he never forgot a single inch of me. I shouldn't have wanted it. But God, I did. And what happened between us in that cabin? I'll never be able to forget it. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment. It started with a storm. One of those wild, angry ones that seems to come out of nowhere and ruin everything. I had been driving through the mountains, thinking I'd make it back to the city before nightfall. But Mother Nature had other plans. The rain started coming down so fast, it felt like the sky had cracked open. And when my car sputtered and died right there on the side of a winding road, I knew I was screwed. All I could see around me were tall pine trees and darkness. Except for one thing, a small cabin just off the road. It looked empty, maybe abandoned. But then I noticed a warm light flickering inside. I had no choice. I ran through the rain, soaked to the bone, and knocked on the door, hoping to find some kind of help. But when it opened, and I saw who stood on the other side, my heart actually stopped. Dylan. I breathed. He blinked like he wasn't sure I was real. Emily. His voice. That low, smooth, familiar sound. It hit me harder than the cold rain ever could. I hadn't seen Dylan in over a year. We hadn't spoken since our messy, painful breakup. And now, of all the cabins in all the places, I had landed on his doorstep. He looked good. Too good. His jaw was sharper, his shoulders broader, his eyes still the same gray-blue storm that used to make my stomach flip. He let me in without saying much, and for a second, it felt like stepping back in time. Turned out he was fixing up the place for a friend. Just here for the weekend. Perfect. Just perfect. As I peeled off my wet jacket, he handed me a towel. Our fingers brushed. Just that simple touch sent a shiver through me. One that had nothing to do with the weather. We sat in silence for a while, the fire crackling between us. I could feel the tension humming like static in the air. It wasn't awkward. Exactly. It was heavy. Charged. Like neither of us wanted to say the first thing because we knew where it might lead. And then he said it. You look good. I looked up. You too. My voice was too soft. Too honest. He asked what I was doing out here, and I told him. About the storm. The broken down car. The timing. All of it ridiculous except here I was. Guess you're stuck with me for the night, he said. God help me. I wasn't even mad about it. He made me tea. Still remembered how I liked it. That fact alone nearly unraveled me. I watched him move around the kitchen like he belonged here. Confident. Come. My heart pounded every time he got too close, and I hated that I still remembered how his lips felt against my neck. How his hands used to explore every inch of me like I was a map he never got tired of reading. We started talking. Just little things at first. How work was going. Where we were living. But then it got deeper. And real. He looked at me with this softness in his eyes, like he was trying to memorize my face again. Like he missed it. I always thought we'd find our way back to each other, he said. That broke something open in me. Then why didn't you call? I did. Plenty of times. You never picked up. He was right. I hadn't. I was scared of what his voice would do to me. Scared that if I heard it again, I'd never be able to forget him. I admitted it. Told him I didn't know what to say. And he said the most devastating thing. You didn't have to say anything. I just wanted to hear your voice. I wanted to kiss him right then. And maybe I would've if he hadn't stepped away, like he needed to breathe. But later, when I walked over to him by the window, something shifted. The look in his eyes changed. It darkened. Deepened. And then he asked, almost like a dare, "Do you still think about me?" I nodded. Slowly. Barely able to speak. "Do you miss how I touched you?" he said next, his voice lower than before. Thicker. My breath caught in my throat. Because yes. God, yes. I didn't answer. I didn't have to. He kissed me. Not gently. Not tentatively. It was slow, yes, but full of need. Like he'd been waiting for this moment since the day I left. And I kissed him back. His hands slid over my waist, under my shirt, finding places I didn't even realize still ached for him. It wasn't just about the heat. It was about all the time we lost. The things we never said. The way my body still knew his like he'd never left. We didn't cross every line that night. But we came close. So close. Clothes stayed on, barely, but the touches, the tension, the way he whispered my name against my skin. It was intoxicating. Every button he pushed still worked. Every look, every graze, every low laugh in my ear had me trembling. Later, curled up in a blanket on the couch with my head on his chest, I couldn't help but say it. I forgot what this felt like. Being wanted like this. His fingers traced lazy circles on my arm. You were never invisible to me, he said. You were the only thing I ever really saw. I barely slept that night. Not because I couldn't, but because I didn't want to miss a single second of him. In the morning, the rain had stopped. My car was dry. The roads were open. I stood at the door, heart twisting. I didn't want to leave, and I think he knew it. You don't have to go, he said, standing behind me. I turned, eyes searching his face. I should. But do you want to? I didn't answer right away. Because truthfully, I didn't. He stepped closer, his voice rougher now. If you walk out that door, I won't stop you. But I won't chase again. I looked up at him, heart pounding. Maybe you won't have to, I whispered. And I meant it. Because one night was all it took to remember everything I tried to forget. And maybe, just maybe, that storm didn't trap me. Maybe it brought me back exactly where I was meant to be.